Thank you for this platform for me to share my story. My story is one that is filled with words such as rape, HIV, trauma, suicidal thoughts, fear, and basically all that comes with living in a society where women and girls ask themselves, am I going to be the next victim of gender-based violence? A society where women are stigmatized against, discriminated, and often asked, what did you do or what were you wearing? Again, a society where the perpetrator is at times protected by both the family, the church, and the justice systems that continue to fail them in many cases. When sex is violent or forced, women are put at a higher risk of infection. And that's exactly what happened in my case. Because of fear, I kept quiet and did not receive the necessary medical attention I needed to receive immediately after an incident like that took place. Violence, the threat of violence, victim blaming hinders the ability of a victim to seek help and protect themselves against infection. Violence against women is a human right violation, and it continues to contribute to the progression of HIV in the 21st century, especially among young people. Because of the mistreatment in our society, many people are living stories of suffering, hospitals, and in death. This is how silence harm. It isolates people and makes them vulnerable to many social issues, including gender-based violence, which leads to HIV infection. I know what it feels like to live and walk in the shadows of stigma, afraid of what people would say, afraid of what people would think about me, the feelings of rejection, the shame and guilt of what I thought I had done to myself, even though I knew that rape was and will never be my fault. I know what HIV looks like when it's left in fear and in shame. Scared of what people will accept me. It doesn't look good. And we have so far to go to reach people and to break the stigma about HIV. When we stay quiet about it, it remains an issue. But if we can address it and embrace it openly, then we have nothing to fear about because we know exactly what we have at hand. You know, and I know that if we are to tackle HIV, we first need to fight against violence against women. Yes, we can do it and it's possible. Silence is the legacy of the perpetrator. And for the longest of time, I too contributed to that legacy. But I'm done. And I'm choosing to advocate for a society in which women and girls don't live in fear of their lives, a society where women are protected and cared for. As someone who's passionate about youth initiatives, I would love to use my voice to uplift young people and ultimately become the role model I wish I had within the HIV community. And as much as my coming out was to liberate myself, about everything else was help to change the narrative about gender-based violence and HIV, bring the voices and perspectives of young people living positively with HIV in discussions meant to fight against gender-based violence and HIV. Not every HIV positive story is negative, and that was my story.